What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Kai. I'm back with another one. So I decided I'm gonna do something different, right? So instead of doing the top six Zenkai units I want to see, let's do the top six Zenkai units I don't want to see, or top six Zenkai units that if I do see it or they do get Zenkai, they will potentially probably be game breaking and meta changing and probably going to be really annoying to deal with. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. And yeah, I also have a new intro which should be showing up right about now.
Yo, Stitch Face, all sit up.
So these are the six units that I personally think that if they were ever to get a Zenkai Awakening, they like the abilities that they have pre Zenkai Awakening would make them really crazy on top of the Zenkai abilities that they're probably going to get after Zenkai Awakening. So there's that. So here we have Blue Bardock. All around, everybody should know Blue Bardock. This guy is the king, the Saiyan king, the crit king, because what he provides for Super Saiyan units is just crazy as far as know the I guess I could just show you guys. I don't know why I was about to try and remember off the top of my head. But I guess I could just show you guys, right? So he has all this, right? No, he gives 20% damage inflicted, 30% to crit rate, and 70% to crit damage. Like, that already is still one of the best passive in the game. Like, no, seriously. This is still one of the best passives in the game up to this day. And this guy is, what, a year and a half old now? Like, he's really old now. He's been out for a very long time. He was UST 8, if I can recall. So yeah, really solid unit. His damage is not really too crazy because 30% damage inflicted, which he gets when he's with a Super Saiyan, is not really that good anymore. But all around, he's still, if he was to get a Zenkai Awakening, honestly, he's kind of basically they kind of took his kit, not really his kit, but they took some of this guy's kit and put it onto Blue Cooler's kit. Their kit is actually pretty similar in a lot of ways, but there's that. So if you want to get an idea of how good he may be, just think of how good Blue Cooler is, and you can get a oh my goodness, what the fuck, you can get a good ass idea of how good this guy would be if he gets a Zenkai Awakening, and how he could potentially just completely break the meta and just do some crazy ass things, man. This guy is honestly going to be a monster when he gets a Zenkai Awakening. So here we have the boy Green Bardock. Ironically, we're talking about another Bardock here. Now, what this guy was, the reason why he was so broken when he came out is because he had a locking ability, right? If I'm correct, he was the first unit to have a locking ability. Yeah, so he was the first unit in the game to have a locking ability, which at the time, it was just broken, bro. It was like nothing you could really do if you got locked in. If you got locked in, you pretty much lost the match if this Bardock locked you in. You had to kill this guy before you could get it off. As far as that, his kit is not really that impressive anymore. He is like semi of a last man standing type unit, so I guess he can go be in that scenario. Like, all they gotta do is probably just, they don't even have to buff this. They just have to buff his stats to probably just give him one more ability where he can sustain some damage outside of when he's just being the last unit, a last man standing type unit. And he'll be pretty solid. Like, just up his stats a little bit, do that, and they don't even need to touch this, because that no switching is still one of the best abilities that you can give a unit. And you do that, this guy will be a solid green unit. And honestly, I would like that, because it's personally for me, Saiyans, I don't really like too many of their green options, and I definitely will mind running that guy. Now, here we have Zamasu. Now, not trying to be biased here, because I'm not gonna lie, Zamasu is probably one of my least favorite characters ever in all of Dragon Ball. I'm not gonna cap. Not really Rose, but just Zamasu in general. Even though Rose and Zamasu are technically the same character, Rose is just cooler, but their ideology is kind of it's the same. If you guys know what I'm saying, but. Yeah, like I said, not being biased here, but everybody knows just how good this guy was. Honestly, it was his team that really helped him out to being so good, not particularly him in general, because he doesn't really do anything too special. But Regen at that time, when they first were dominating the meta, because no, Regen wasn't always dominating. This is actually their second coming. Now that they have all those new immortal type units where they keep healing, but before they had all that, it was just Zamasu and Green Piccolo who were just basically defensive juggernauts for this team. If this guy was to get a team with Super Baby, not to get a team, what the hell am I talking about? If this guy was to get a Zenkai Awakening with the new Regen team, oh boy, this guy would just make them like even more crazy tankier, and he would just even be 10 times more annoying to deal with. Zamasu, I really hope that I just pray he never gets a Zenkai working. In my personal opinion, is that. So Ichi Goku honestly only will really be annoying to just deal with, just because his special move, how it works, is just kind of like you gotta, it's kind of like I think it was the first counter special move. Yeah, this was the first counter special move, and yeah, it's pretty much how it works. But it takes away all your vanish gauge when you use it, but it has a 20% chance to inflict faint, and yeah, it just would be annoying to just have to deal with that if they make him broken and decide that they were just gonna make him where he's also a pretty hard hitter, because he is a support type unit. But I don't know, support type units are actually kind of weird in Legends. That's why we don't get too many of them, because there are some like strike melee based type units that are better support units than actual support units. So yeah, support unit type units are kind of weird in Legends. But yeah, he has nothing to sustain to where he can actually do any type of damage, even the slightest. And the buff that he gives is only to carry the Gohan for 10 time accounts, which is solid at the time, but not really all that good. There are definitely he's definitely not worth running him just to give a 20% strike buff to Gohan. Definitely not that. But all around a pretty solid unit. Yeah, they'll have to buff this and make him more he buffs hands. But all around, just because of his counter, like having a counter special move, we already saw how broken that was when they decided that they was gonna put that on Namek Goku, the LF one. He would just be crazy if he got a Zenkai Awakening, I think, at least. Because no, honestly, at the end of the day, this is just my personal opinion. No, boy. Oh boy. Now, if they decide they were going to Zenkai Awaken this Broly, DBZ, not DBZ, but DBS Broly, bro, this would be like, it would be really scary. That's all I'm gonna say. It would be scary, fam. Like, you would not want to fight nobody, bro. Because the reason why this guy was so broken, why he was the king of PvP for like literally almost like 5 months, was mostly just because this right here, he like his passive ability, he could just casually just take away type disadvantage with his passive. It's just ridiculous, bro. And this is for 15 time accounts. Every time he enters the battlefield, he takes away type disadvantage. So you come in with this guy, what people would do, they will run him with Bardock, get crit on, and they could just run through any team because he doesn't have to worry about type advantage. And because of that, there was honestly oh shit, there was times where it honestly didn't feel like there was even a point of bringing a yellow unit. And I noticed that they stopped doing this, where they give I don't think they ever done this again, like where they give this type of ability, taking away type disadvantage through passives. Nowadays they just make it where you have to only get that type of ability through main abilities nowadays, because it makes sense, because having it just sitting there in a passive like that, where you just come into the match and you automatically take away type disadvantage, you don't gotta tap nothing, you can just go straight into it, don't gotta worry about nothing. Plus he had blast armor, which at the time was really broken. They nerfed it down, because if you went through blast cards, what would happen is that you would recover your vanish gauge if it was empty. But like I said, they did nerf that. Plus he just does a lot of damage. The reason why he kind of fell off is because I think he does have to like take a certain amount of hits before he can do some damage. According to damage taken in proportion. Yeah, he does have to take a certain amount of damage before he's actually able to do some solid damage, which is not particularly the best nowadays. But all around, this guy is still a beast. Like, he's still a crazy good unit. I guess people just got tired of using him, and movie team did kind of fall off for a little while, and also did Super Saiyans as well. So there's that. All around, if this guy got a Zenkai Awakening, it will be a scary sight. Like, honestly, it will not even, like, you guys would probably cry. You would not want to have to fight this guy. You really don't. You really wouldn't. So there's that. I don't even got him 7 stars. I wouldn't even do it. So here we have Super Janemba. Now the reason I chose Super Janemba is honestly only single-handedly just because of his green card, man. This green card is still one of the best green cards in the game. Him and the red version of him honestly kind of have the same type of green card, where they're able to counter blast and tap blast. But even back then, like, if you combine this, I already see people, they'll run this guy or a red Janemba, and it would just make for a deadly, ridiculous combo of just being able to, like, no, stop counters, just be able not stop counters, but stop blast attacks, god damn it. Stop blast attacks, god damn it. And yeah, not being able to use blast attacks honestly would be really, really annoying. And yeah, That's pretty much it. To be honest, that's all his kit really offered that made him so broken. But it seems such like a little thing, but honestly, it's a big thing. And plus, look, his green card costs 9, and it's one of the still honestly one of the best green cards in the game. Only thing is that he's a defensive type, and nowadays he just doesn't have anything to sustain any type of defensive utility at all. So obviously they will have to buff that in some way. Honestly, I'd really and plus regen don't really need it. So I don't know if they Zenkai him. I'm not really sure if he would be better than Android 21 to where they would just kick him on the team. But I don't know. That green card alone is enough to, I think, knock him in here. So yeah, so there's that. I might do. Should I do some honorable mentions? Nah, you know what? No, forget it. I mean, some honorable mentions for some units I wouldn't like to see get Zenkai because they might be broken into get Zenkai. Honestly, this stuff is all just speculation. Some of the ones I'm saying here may not even be that good. Kid Buu possibly, because Kid Buu's not really all that good, but he does have certain things in his kit that if he got a Zenkai, he would be good. No, not Deborah. I mean, Deborah, well, he has to be broken when they Zenkai with him, to be honest, because he's just so trash, and he's been trash since day one. Yeah, I don't really see any other units here. I mean, maybe Ribrianne, if she get a Zenkai Wiccan, that'd be pretty solid, to be honest. Let's see. Yeah, Demon Kid Pickle, that'll probably be pretty solid. Let's see, this guy may be decent if they get his like Wicked. There's that. So yeah, not those are just units. No, I think that will be probably potentially broken if they get Zenkai Weekend. Yeah, so it's your boy Kaki. Go last guy for more content. Tell me what you gotta think about this. Tell me what you gotta think about this video. Tell me what you gotta think about the new intro, because I did put a lot of time into that. And yeah, you guys seem to be going crazy, liking the comments. Not liking the comments, liking the content. I have been seeing the growth in the channel, and I do love seeing it. And yeah. It's your boy Kaki. Go last guy for more content. And yeah, I'm out.